These are the 5 best parts of my craft studio. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and I have my dream craft studio. It is a place that I have, like I said, dreamed about for a really long time, worked really hard to get it in a particular way, to get it set up just how I wanted, and there are a few elements in here that I consider to be the absolute best parts of my craft studio. I cannot wait to take you and show you around. I am working on an updated craft room tour because things have changed in the past year, and I'd like to share some of those updates with you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because that craft room tour, the full thing, is coming up. But first, let's talk about the 5 best parts of my craft studio. The first thing I want to talk about is an aesthetic feel that I love in any space, and that is a mix of beautiful modern pieces and beautiful vintage pieces. And I think the vintage pieces that I have in my craft studio are one of the best parts and what makes my studio feel like me, feel more unique, and I absolutely love it. I am constantly on the lookout in thrift stores, in vintage shops for unique storage pieces that can be repurposed for a huge variety of uses. And I think mixing in some of those pieces tends to give a little warmth to your space, tends to add some extra function with personality, which I think is really important. One of my favorite pieces, and something you all tend to comment on a lot whenever I show it, is my library catalog. If I'm being honest, I searched for one of these for a really long time. If you search online on eBay, they can be really, really expensive, and I wasn't willing to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a library catalog, but I knew I wanted one. I'm in love with all of the little drawers. They are so fun. They're so functional for all of those little bits and bobs. I get questions all the time about what I store in my library catalog. Well, the truth is I store all of the random little things that really don't fit in another place. The little drawers are perfect. I love the look of it. It is actually from an old car mechanic's office because it came with vintage paper in it that were receipts and invoices given to customers, which I thought was super fun. I have mine on a stand that my husband built because I wanted it to be up off the ground, but I wanted to have extra storage as well. So the stand is fabulous because it also brings another element of that warm wood, which I think is beautiful when you mix it with all of the white IKEA pieces that I have and that I love. And it gives me some extra shelving as well. That is definitely one of my favorite vintage pieces for sure. The other is a green storage piece that actually came out of a barn. It was quite the project to clean it up, to get it all dusted off and cleaned off and sanded down, and it is so pretty, and it is a really interesting functional piece. It's divided up with 3 drawers, kind of 2 shelves, and I love what it looks like. As of right now, it's holding some of my Glowforge materials, but I have big plans to kind of change it up and have it function in some different ways, and I love that it's a versatile piece. Whenever I am looking for storage in my crafting area, in my creative space, I always want something that is versatile, that can serve multiple functions, because I am a person that changes things up. I don't always stick with the same thing all the time. So if I have a piece that can change its role over the years, then I think that is a really valuable piece to have. Number 2 on my list is the thing that you always see behind me in all of my introductions. That is my pegboard. This pegboard was one of the first elements that I ever added to a craft room in this particular house. I've gone from a tiny little closet in a corner of a townhome. I've gone from the dining room table. I've moved over the years to where my creative space is. Now I finally have a whole room for it. And the first thing I put up was this pegboard. Pegboards serve so many functions. They are fabulous, but probably the thing that they do the best is taking advantage of vertical space. When others show me their craft room looking for tips and tricks on how to improve their storage, almost always I say, take a look at the vertical space and how you can best use it. Pegboards are fabulous for that. This pegboard is huge. It's probably 4 by 4 or 5 by 5. I don't know the exact measurements. My husband helped me put it together. I did a little decoupaging to add some personality. So there's tissue paper on the back and there's a huge Jane Davenport rub-on, and I love that it makes a visual impact, but that it also serves a really important storage purpose for me. It gets stuff up off of my countertops, off of my workspace, which I think is vital in any creative space. We tend to kind of gather little bits and pieces on our desks that start to encroach on our actual workspace. So anything that can get things off of your desk and into your visual line of sight so that you will use it more is a fabulous tool, and one of the many reasons that I will always have a pegboard in my space. I just think they are absolutely so functional, and I think you can use them to have your supplies be beautifully displayed as well. All right, the next one on my list. We all have different storage personalities. We all have different ways that we like things to be stored, and we are all inspired in different ways. I'm an extremely visual person. I love to see my supplies, which is why the clear storage that is in this craft studio is one of the best parts of my craft studio. As I was designing this space, I focused on as much clear storage as I could come up with. That meant glass doors for some of the different shelves and bookcases that I have. That meant investing in a whole lot of the home edit line from Walmart. I absolutely love it. I bought it in bulk from Walmart to get this place set up, and I think it is so functional. We talked earlier about pieces that can serve multiple functions or that can kind of transform functions over time. Those particular pieces, the large, medium, and small bins from the home edit that are over at Walmart, were A, really affordable for me, and B, they have moved their jobs. Their jobs have changed over time. I'm able to adjust what's in them and relocate them and stack them in different ways. They're just really functional in that way. For me, the more I can see my supplies, the more likely I am to use those supplies. So it meant the world to me to be able to have so many spaces with clear storage so that I would be able to see what was available. And I really do just sit in this chair and I spin around all over the place, and I can see so many of my supplies and be inspired as I'm sitting down to create. Like I said, there are different types of clear storage. It could be clear glass doors. It could be clear bins. I've had clear fronts to different drawers and things like that. I have acrylic drawer sets. I have acrylic shelves that are clear acrylic that hold all my washi tape, which is one of the spaces that I absolutely love in my space. So I'm a big fan. All of the opportunity you have to have clear storage, I would say go for it. Okay, so the next one is going to sound so contradictory to what I was just talking about, but one of the next best parts of my craft studio is the closed storage. I know, it's weird because I just told you about how much I love clear storage, and I do, and it's my preference. But here's the truth. Not all of our craft supplies are beautiful to look at. They are necessary, but not always beautiful. And sometimes it can be so easy to go over the edge of visual clutter. So I love the cabinets that I have. I love the Alex drawers that I have that allow me to store things away so that I don't have to look at every single craft item I own. I do tend to very clearly label all of the different drawers and sections of my craft studio so that I can still dig in and know what's there. Oftentimes when you open up my cabinets, you're going to see clear storage because I want to be able to see the things in there right away. But I love that visually I can give myself a little bit of a blank space as well. I also have a mixture of the two. I don't know that any space would be perfectly balanced with all clear or all closed. It kind of depends on your preference. I know I've spoken to people in the past that do like everything closed behind doors. Maybe they are sharing that space. Maybe it's in their dining room or their living room. And so they have a cabinet or two where all of their craft supplies are organized and they want it closed off because maybe you don't want to look at that when you're cuddling down ready to watch a movie on the couch. And I understand that, and it depends on how your space functions. For me, the balance between the two has been really important to find, and I'm really happy with the balance that I was able to strike in this space. All right, and the last best part of my craft studio is something that I believe wholeheartedly in. Whether you are crafting in the corner of your dining room or whether you have a whole studio like I do, the important thing is to define zones. And in this space, I was able to define different zones so that I can find the supplies that I'm looking for. I have a paper machine zone. I have sticker zones. I have a mixed media zone. I have a planning zone. I have everything zoned out in this space, and it makes creating so much easier. How do you figure out your zones? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is make a list of the different hobbies that you like to work on. So you might be a sewist. You might love sewing. You might be a quilter. You might crochet. You might be a jewelry maker. There's a whole list of hobbies that I know that we all love, and a lot of us like to dabble in little bits and pieces of different hobbies. I can totally relate to that. So make your list of hobbies, and then what I do is literally take Post-it notes and I go around a space and I think, you know what, I want this to be my planning zone, or this makes sense for mixed media, or this may work for this particular thing. Take Post-it notes, start to envision, start to draw it out, and then start to gather those supplies within those zones. When things start to overlap, for instance, perhaps you use stamping in card making and you use stamping in your journaling, then I use those overlaps as kind of bridges between different zones. So it makes sense to have those in the middle of two different zones that may be connected. It's a little bit like playing Tetris. It's going to take some time, but really defining those zones makes it so much more inviting to come into a space and craft because you know where your supplies are going to be, and the ease of it is fabulous. You have all these different supplies gathered, and so when you go into your card making zone and you're seeing some of your fun embossing tools, it's going to inspire you to do that actual specialty within that zone. All right, so now it is your turn. I know we all have things that we would love to change and improve about our creative spaces, but I think it's really important to take some time and find something that you love about your crafting space. Let me know down below, what is the favorite thing about your creative space that just works for you, is beautiful, is inspiring, whatever the case may be. Let me know down in the comments below because I love hearing the things that are inspiring you. I hope that you enjoyed this little peek at some of the best parts of my craft studio. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned because a full craft room tour is coming up and you're not going to want to miss out. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for your support. If you are looking for a crafty community to be a part of, maybe some extra content and inspiration, Patreon is the place for you. You can check out the link down below. Start your 7-day free trial for one of the tiers over on Patreon today, and I will be happy to see you over there. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.